successes that they've had and how they've cut through the noise with personalised communication. So let's introduce Jane and Claire. Hello.
Morning everyone. I'm Jane and I've been with Halfords for just under a year. Recently, well, for the last couple of years, Halfords have really invested in the customer experience, really focusing on our retail and garage sites and transforming them. And alongside that, I was brought in to focus on the internet platforms to match that investment and help with our internal comms. But it's by no means a one-person job, it's a team effort.
Hi everyone, so I'm Claire, so I've worked with Halfords for 4 years. And throughout this time, our garage service business has almost doubled in size with our most recent acquisitions. And it was during this time that we worked really closely with the Oak team to develop our communication branded app, which our colleagues named Connect, and that's what we have in place today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that introduction. So, Jane, could you share some of the employee engagement and internal communication challenges that you were facing prior to implementing Oak?
Yeah, sure. So before Oak, we didn't have any sort of online central platform for our colleagues. And as you can imagine, there was a lot of printing of documents, putting it in ring binders, and just a sea of paperwork, which wasn't really great for employees because they were inundated with communications that probably weren't relevant to what they needed some of the time. It was hard for them to find things when they needed it. And we just got general feedback that they needed something, a central online system. So yeah, that's why we looked for a provider. And there you were.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. So based on those challenges then, how do you think Oak has addressed those challenges?
I mean, having a central online digital platform has been a game changer, really. It not only helps colleagues find the information, but it helps down the line when they're coming faced with a customer and a problem, and they can access that information quickly. So it's been really good. It's really cut out the noise for them, which I think really in day-to-day operations is transformative.
Yeah, wonderful. And Claire, over to you. So what motivated your decision to choose Oak?
So aside from the amazing benefits that Oak has to offer our colleagues, I think what really stood out was Oak's branded app. It really helped us reinforce our brand identity and values. And I think it's really important to sort of say how easy the platform is to use from both sides. So from us as the developers, putting out all the content to our colleagues, and from our colleagues' point of view as well. So being able to use the platform with literally minimum training. And the support that you guys always offer as well. You know, it's a real partnership between yourselves and us. You help us achieve our objectives and our business goals. And I think, to be really honest, if it wasn't for the support that you guys offer, we wouldn't be in the place that we are now. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so kind to hear. So I know you just mentioned the branded app there, but how else do you use various features within Oak to communicate with your teams, Claire?
So I think Jane's already touched on this a little bit, but a big challenge for us was cutting through the noise, and a lot of feedback from our colleagues was that they just wanted to see the information that was relevant to them. The way that Halfords is, so Halfords obviously is a brand, but there's so many sections of Halfords that make up the whole Halfords brand. So we have our mobile matters business as well. We have our colleague, our garage services business. We have commercial business, and as you can imagine, there's different guides and practices for all of those different sort of sides of the business. So for us, what we did is we really personalised it for our users. We created pages, user groups, so it was only seen by the desired audiences. And I think a real other feature for us as well, and one that I use regularly, is the document review feature. We have documents that we need to look at annually. And having that feature is a real peace of mind for us to know that we can just pop that on a review, to know that it will notify us when it's due for the review. So it really helps us, just gives us peace of mind really, to know that our content is always relevant and it's up to date. So that's one that I really regularly use and love.
Wonderful. I know you just talked about user groups and targeting the right audience. Do you have anything to add in terms of like what other tactics do you use to engage those frontline workers, Jane?
Yeah, I think when we brought into Oak, we really wanted to create a community for our employees and a way for them to have a two-way, or a method for them to have two-way conversations. And it's something that was fed back that they wanted. So that was really important. Different ways or different examples that this has worked. We obviously with garages, they have suppliers, and it's it's not always plain sailing, and there's sometimes issues. And we needed a way for our garage services to report if there was any problems with the suppliers, or if there were any ways that we can improve the relationships. And we needed a way to collate that information and then act on it quickly. So we provided a supplier feedback area, which has really been popular, as you can imagine. Another thing that we did a Christmas support page, which was very nice. Well, I really like that because, mainly because I love Christmas. But yeah, we had a Christmas support page, so it had all the opening times of the suppliers. We had a section where they could put a Christmas joke on, which they quite enjoyed, and we saw a lot of engagement there. And we also ran a Christmas competition as well. So yeah, that was great. And then one other thing that I've recently done with the divisional leaders is refresh the divisional pages. So we have 5 divisions within Halfords, and as you can understand, there's quite a lot of healthy competition, which is great. So they've each got their own divisional page now, and it's a great area for the regional general managers to inform their colleagues, to engage with them, and to praise them as well. So one feature that we use from Oak is the colleague recognition, and it's a really good way for everyone within the company to see recognition within the company as well. So we love that, and it's really quick and easy. They just have to pick the employee, select their name, and then send them some thanks or praise. It's brilliant. Yeah, really good.
Wonderful. That's amazing to hear. And you just talked about the two-way communication there and employee recognition. How do you additionally think that your messages truly resonate?
With Halfords, we have a set of values that goes across the company, and those values are to one Halfords family, so we're all one Halfords family, and we try and wow our customers every day, be better every day, and we have pride in our expertise. So those values are sort of everything that we match against those, but as a team, we're really quite strict on having concise communications, and we really don't budge from that. We really want to chop out anything that isn't relevant to them. We understand that they've got to do their daily job alongside read any communications that we put out, so we're really quite strict on that. What else do we do? I think that's...
You talked about the competition as well recently.
Yeah, on the engagement side, thanks Katie. On the engagement side, as I mentioned, we ran a competition for the employees, which was super popular, and we had over 200 prizes worth £10,000, and we had over 5,000 page hits, and then 22,000 entries across the group. So that was really, really popular, and it was great for us, and it was just a really nice thing to do as well. And we got so many emails just saying thank you so much. So it's just a really nice way to appreciate the colleagues, but also get them engaged as well. So competitions are always really popular.
Yeah, of course. And it just shows what culture you've built as well. Everyone's wanting to get involved, although there is £10,000 up for grabs. You've really cultivated that culture, and you can really truly see that. So yeah, you should be really proud of yourselves there. So in addition to, we've been able to help facilitate those competitions, have that two-way communication, Claire, do you have anything additional to add that you think that we've had an impact on the business?
So I think Jane's already touched on this a little bit already, but it really has created a community feel within our colleagues where they can feedback. I believe as well it's enhanced the services that they provide our customers. Our colleagues are more engaged than what they ever have been, and we're seeing this from the stats as well recently. And I think having that one place where they can go, where they know that they can see all their guidance, their information, they're kept up to date with the latest versions of our policies and procedures.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And it, like you said, everything is in one central location. So then to both of you, Claire and Jane, is there anything in addition that you think that we've added from a support aspect?
Yeah, well, I think for me, what really stood out was when we were setting up the branded app. We decided to cleanse all of our users before rolling it out to the business. So we wanted to make sure that all colleague information was up to date. And it was during this time that I remember speaking to Chris from the support team. He was brilliant. He was on hands with everything, talked me through how to do that. And we decided to implement it on a Sunday evening, so it was minimum impact to the business. And Chris actually offered support during that time. He was actually on call. So if there was any issues, if we ran into anything. But luckily, the update went perfectly fine. It was really easy to do as well. But it was always great to know that there was somebody who was there, who like on hand to support if we needed it. And I think that's really going above and beyond. So, yeah, that was a definitely feature for me that stood out.
I think for me, quite recently, Oak ran a meetup session. So we got to go to their head offices in Newcastle, meet all the team. Obviously, we know the account managers, but meet all the team. They were on hand to answer any questions that we had, and meet fellow colleagues who do a similar job for us around the world, really. So that was great. And we had sessions where we could work through problems. But I think what was the biggest takeaway for me was speaking to colleagues who do a similar job as me, and hearing the tactics that they use, and it was really, really useful. It gave me confidence to use certain apps that perhaps I hadn't used before. So yeah, I thought that was great from a support point of view. I found it really helpful.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for that feedback. That's so kind. I'll make sure Chris from support gets that message as well. But yeah, like you said, it's really relevant that answer you just gave then as well, because that was only in November, and it was such an amazing day. And like you said, you got such value out of it. So continuing with you, Jane, I know that you just talked about the £10,000 giveaway and the competition, but could you talk us through any other specific campaign or success story that you've achieved within Oak?
Yeah, sure. So another part of the business is our fleet services, and this is quite a significant part of the business, and it brings a significant revenue in. So as you can imagine, it's really, really important that our comms are on point for that group. It is across the whole group anyway, but we need to make sure that they have all the information there to hand when they need it, and it's updated regularly. With that section, there is so much information because of all the accounts that they work with. So we recently worked with the fleet team to refresh that page using a couple of the new features from Connect. So your content app, and it's just sort of transformed the page and the load times. And I think anyone who does like comms jobs, unless you actually invite feedback, you don't necessarily get it. But I got so much good feedback on how this page and the usefulness and the the navigation of it had improved their practices. So that was brilliant. Yeah, really good.
That's amazing to hear, especially with your fleet team being such a vital part of your business as well. To get that feedback is so amazing. So well done for that. So Claire, going over to you now, how has the platform impacted the day-to-day roles of employees?
So I think it's really helped to improve productivity and enhanced efficiency, and it's definitely reduced a lot of the frustration that our colleagues previously had. And I think, as Jane has already said, with the divisional pages that have been set up, I think it's really helped improve collaboration within the teams. Our colleagues can now share stories, photos, best practices, top tips, and it really does create that one team approach.
Yeah, and like we've been saying throughout all of this, like you've built such an amazing culture, and it just goes to show when everyone is uploading those pictures and that social element as well, and that's so nice to see.
It's a real community,
Yeah, definitely. So Jane, I know you talked about some results earlier, but what are some results that you've seen since implementing Oak?
We've seen lots of results. I think the ones that really resonate for me, for the industry as a whole, it's been quite a challenging year. But for our garage services, they've done well. And I think there's probably numerous factors to that, but I don't think that we can deny that getting their operational comms out there to them in the right way and resonating in the right way has helped with that. So I think, we're really happy with Oak and also, the colleagues and what they've done over the last couple of years. It's been brilliant. Two other things or some stats for everyone. As we mentioned, it's primarily a deskless workforce. So they have the app on their phone. And in an industry that's notoriously bad for engagement, we have about 71% of our colleagues paired to the app, which is actually really good. I know it's not 100, but we're happy with that. 71% is good. So there's that. And then, as I said, I've just been with Halfords for just under a year, but I've been slowly working through all the content with the stakeholders, getting rid of any content that's now not needed and just refreshing some of the pages when we get to them, obviously priority lists. But we've really seen an improvement in the page views. So from the beginning of the year until the end of last year, we had a 44% increase in page views, which I'm chuffed about. Yeah, that's brilliant. And another thing, what I have to say, we wouldn't before Oak have been able to get those stats. There would have been no way of monitoring them. So yeah, very happy.
Yeah, all your hard work.
All our hard work.
The team effort.
Yeah, 100%. So last question then. What is next for Halfords and how can Oak help achieve with those goals?
So I think for me, what I'm really excited about is seeing Oak's developments and enhancements. You're always developing the product to create the best experience for the users. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what's next there and being able to put that into practice in our side of the business. We're really enjoying the latest features and applets. So yeah, so excited to see what that's going to bring.
I think for me, I'm really looking forward to using AI more and personalisation and bringing that into our strategy for later on this year. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays a part and just using the content app more because it's just been transformative for us. So yeah, really good.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
thanks for everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions? Yes, we do. I'm going to stop saying this after a bit because you'll have got used to it, but if you can say who you are, who you're with, and then ask the question.
Hi, this is Leo with Accenture. This is great, by the way. I go to the shops every day and I go past a Halfords and I recognise the branding. The question is, you mentioned, I think it was Jane, about the 71% rate of your employees that have paired the app.
Yeah.
Is that partly because some of your employees don't have business mobiles, and so there may be a resistance to installing it on their personal devices?
I missed the last bit of what you said, but they don't have company mobiles. No, it's just on their own phones, and it's their choice, obviously, to download it. They do have computers and a desktop in the office, and obviously they can all access that. But no, they don't. Yeah, so that's part of the issue. Thanks.
Okay, any more questions? Yes, a sea of hands here. Hold on 1 second.
Hi, Louise Watts from Arup. I was just interested to know how you went about actually launching the platform, because obviously you've had great engagement, and it's because it's a good platform, but you've got to get the employees to actually use that. So I was interested to know how you launched it.
So we actually brought our colleagues along on the journey of actually setting it up. We actually went out there and asked our colleagues what they wanted to name their intranet. And I think when you engage your colleagues from bringing them along on that journey, I think that really makes a big difference. They feel like they're a part of it. They feel like they're having their say, and they matter. So I think that was a really big part of engaging them from the get-go. Yeah.
I'm going to take this next one as the last question, but are you going to be around in the coffee break, the three of you?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any further questions, I'm sure you'll be happy to share more secrets. But here we go.
Hi, I'm Martha from Eximia Communications. My question is, obviously, you're looking at operational communications, but the other part that employees really need to be able to access easily is HR communications, especially anything around rewards and bonuses and annual leave and so on. what have you learned from this that you can apply to your HR communications, or does your HR communications do it completely differently?
Do you want to answer or do you want me to?
You happy to?
I'll answer first, and if I forget anything,
I'll jump in if I need to.
So our HR communications are completely separate. Even though they're internal, it's run by our internal comms as such. So we have a link through from our platform to, they've got their own sort of platform wheels for HR. So we just link through to it. We don't replicate anything on our platform on Connect because you just get into that well, you create problems for yourself if content goes out of date, and it's a straight link through. So we can't. I don't.
Yeah, our colleagues know where to go, don't they?
Yeah.
So they'll know that if they want to access anything for HR, they know that they need to go to the Wheels platform. We are hoping, I think, to sort of look at bringing that all together under one umbrella forward. So that's something that I think is in the plan, isn't it, going forward? But
Fantastic. Okay, thank you very much. Katie, Claire, Jane, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.